The slimes and taints that have been created out of pestilence and decay have long since been a plague on my world and others like this. I've been working on a study that will find the weakness of these foul and mindless creations. The controlled environment I have set up for the slimes to be killed is made of magics I do not fully understand, yet it works, and I am able to collect samples safely. My studies have not gone unnoticed. I believe a great ogre was sent by the Legion of the Apocalypse to try and destroy me and my experiments. I have still much to do, and the ogre's damage was a slight delay. Testing will continue, and more will be stopped. Now then, welcome back to another episode of A Druid's Tale in the Magic Farm 3 mod pack. Once again over here, doing the things that we do every episode. It's been a little while since I last recorded A Druid's Tale, and that is simply because I've been busy elsewhere. You may also be watching the other series that I'm playing on, and the Infinity Evolved mod pack has required me to spend a lot of time messing about. Over here, since though, I've taken down the slime island that was just over there to stop any more king slimes and that spawning where I don't want them. And I took some of the blue slime liquid, and I did something, hopefully, which is pretty cool. I've set up a mob farm for them, and I've started building the structure over this side of my base. Nothing going to spawn around here. No, they're spawning way over there instead. That's good. Yeah, I've started this thing here. It's a mob farm which will generate mob essence, hopefully. There we go. There's a slime, and there it dies. It's gone. I found that stagnant water, as it were, stagnant slime water, does not spawn very fast. So I did a little bit of research, and apparently it's the updated block placement type thing that is spawning them faster. Now, this isn't a super uber efficient setup, but it is working, as you can see. It's creating slimes. The slimes are coming from this source block that's placed here, rather than the stagnant source blocks. And then the grinder is grinding them out and killing them off. So that's an an autonomous activator with a bucket of slime in it. And this is just 9 slime source blocks in there, just in case, just to give them someone else. And a few bits of this slime dirt around that I salvaged from the island that was up in the sky over there. I did do grass at one point and then realised my mistake because it starts turning other grass blocks around it into slime grass, whereas the dirt on its own does not. But it does seem to be doing a fairly good job of spawning things, which is nice. Nice. And can't get up there. Nope. I've got to go all the way around again. They've put a roof on everything over here as well, just to make sure it's nice and secure, and put some hidden pumpkin lightings and built a tree and all that to make it all look nice. But round the back here, you'll see that I'm using Tesseract as the technology. Now, I've been making a lot of Tesseracts and grinding out a lot of resources in the Infinity Evolved Hypermind series, and it's something I didn't want to duplicate. So I just got on and did it over here. So we've got this particular one is Slime Monsters, and it's the only set of Tesseracts I've built so far. And I've tried to reduce the amount of Tesseracts I'm using because, well, it takes a long time to gather the materials for it. In the Infinity Evolved mod pack, I've got quarries going and all sorts. But in here, I've got to go and get these shiny metals myself, which is hard work. We've got this one to receive energy, so it powers the grinder, and it is sending items and fluids on this channel, Slime Monsters channel, okay? And maybe I'll be able to get around this way this time. Yeah, yes, there we go. And over here I've got what is going to be a spawning trap area, and this Tesseract is set on the same channel, but is receiving fluid and energy. So the fluid is going into here to fill it full of mob essence from the grinder and also energy. And then over at the charcoal farm over there, well, over at the charcoal survivalist generator section, I've got enough power coming in to supply for both of them. At the minute, I'll probably have to update the power at some point. But as you might be aware there, I'm using Mystcraft crystals as a baseline there. And what I'm planning on doing is putting a Mystcraft linking book so that mobs spawn in this chamber, fall into a Mystcraft portal, and teleport over to where I want them. Which at the moment, this very moment, is over here. I'll be able to change the linking book as and when necessary, because down the side here... Let's get down. Let's get down, Numpty. Thank you. That'll do. That'll do, Numpty. That'll do. Down the side here, I've got the little book receptacle here. So it's on the outside of the whole structure. So I'll be able to change the book if need be. If and when need be. Oh, did it. I did it. Parkoured it. Did it. Parkoured it. Right. And so I want the final resting place of the mob to be over the altar here, so that two things can happen. Similar to my Agrarian Skies playthrough, I had the mobs landing on top of the altar, so that I could kill the mobs or have the mobs auto-killed, either way, and gain the blood into the altar. Now this is just a level 1 altar, so the first thing I've got to do is upgrade them to make a level 2 so I can use a dagger of sacrifice to sacrifice the mobs to the altar. But that's another thing for another time. Maybe not this episode. I'll just want to get some things set up this episode using the Mystcraft. And so, we are over to the Mystcraft area over here, the Mystcraft tower, to get set up with a few bits and pieces, Mystcraft-wise. When you've got this inkwell, ink mixer, you put ink into it, ink goes here, you take out a linking page. Now a linking page is fairly standard, normal linking page. I take a bit of leather, put that linking page in there, and it will transport to a location. Normally you can't do locations that are in the same dimension. When I was testing out to try and get linking book sorted out to old world saves, I spawned in one of these link modifier blocks, and I believe it's creative only. So I'm not going to use it, but I've got it here just in case, right? And there's these are the things that you can add to the linking panels to make them do these different things. So we've got relative, which I believe is keeping it relative. Okay, I don't know what that does now. Disarm, which basically removes all inventory off the player. Generate a platform underneath the player at the point. And maintain momentum means that if you're running, you'll run straight through and go straight on and carry on running, not just appear at the end of the portal. And intralinking, which means that you can link books to the same dimension instead of having to go to different dimensions. I'm not sure what relative link is, so leave comments down below to find out what that is, and check out the comments down below to see if anyone's got a good answer. I've never really used it, so I don't think it's really that needed. One thing we can do legitimately, though, to try and get an intralinking book is to throw ender pearls, like I'm right-clicking ender pearls into the ink. So I'm going to use 6 in there to try and give me a good chance of getting an intralinking page over here. Intralinking ender pearls kind of goes together. I'm going to take that one and see what we get. It doesn't actually tell me in there, so maybe I've got to make the book first to figure that one out. Or maybe I can put it into here. Nope, that's not helping. What about putting it into the bookbinder? No, that's not helping either. Okay, so we've got to do it in here. Let's see. Do we get a linking book? It's just an unlinked linking book. So maybe it would tell me if I got it right. So let's try that again. This time I'm going to put all 10 in there and hope for the page of awesomeness. And no, still no information on there to tell me what's going on. Okay, so I've read on a wiki, I think it was the Feed the Beast wiki for Mystcraft, that there is a way of using dusts. Now this is pulverized, so I don't know if that's going to work the same. But dusts have a slightly higher chance of generating the things that you want. Whereas ender pearls are a tiny chance of interlinking. Things like iron dust and lead dust and all that kind of stuff are okay. That's doing that. That's making the hardened glass. Let's just put that in there to make a few more hardened glass, and we'll try this. Gold was potentially the highest chance of success, so I'm going to throw a bit of gold into it and hope for the best, and we'll see if we get lucky. The ink pool should swirl with colour, and the more swirls and all that kind of stuff means the more chance of getting the effect that you're after. With ender pearls, there's also a chance of disarm, so with the metals there isn't. So I was doing the right thing, but something went wrong somewhere. You see, there we go. We got an effect growing in there. I'm throwing some more in, and it's making it brighter. Yeah. And it's glowing and flashing, and it's doing things. Now, if I put some lead in there as well, you can see that the colour is intensifying, and there's more rings growing. Let's make sure we get it by throwing the whole lot in there. Okay, so hopefully that means it's a good thing. Hopefully that's a good thing. Is it dissipating now? It's gone back to black. Oh, I hope that's not a thing that... Oh no, it's coming back, it's coming back, it's coming back. I thought for a second there that the longer you leave it before you take the page out, the more of a fade it is. So let's take it out when it's big like that. And we didn't get anything special on here again. So, let's see. It's not glowing or anything. Let's throw a gold in and try it out with one single gold. And boom. Have you got me anything? No. Let's try 2 gold. Doesn't seem to be doing much, but it is, yeah, it is growing in power, as it were. Let's take you out. And doesn't show anything again. Right. So we got the ink in there. Let's throw 16 ender pearls in as well. Now that's an unmoving ring now. It's like a solid ring. It's not... Oh, now it's flashing. Now it's going back down to ink. I wonder if I take the ink out when it's lower or higher. I don't know. Let's take it out and see. It's still showing up as just a normal Mystcraft link page. Okay, well, that's supposed to work. Let me just double check around the internet and see if anybody's got a solution. Oh my days, you git. What are you doing? Get out of my face. You've just broken into my building. Get out of it. I've been attacked again in my home, man. Get down. Just blown up tons of the wall and everything. I'm just standing down here, waiting for the pulverized gold, and I turned round, and there he is. Smash, 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 smash in. Man, oh man, oh man, attacked by an ogre in my own home. Luckily, fortunately for me, it was nowhere near any actual machines. It's just this side of the machine, so it didn't break anything major league important. But it does mean that I've got problems around this area with mobs spawning and coming in too close. Man. Well, that'll need fixing then. That'll need a fix. So, I really don't want to do this right now. I'll do it a bit later on. I'll sort it all out. Tidy it all up, sort it all out, and get it all done. But I really want to get this Mystcraft linking panel sorted out. I was checking the wikis and looking around on the internet to find out, and apparently what I'm doing is working and correct and fine, so maybe it is just this mod pack that won't allow it. But it's not stopping me from trying, which is the annoying part. It's not stopping me from trying. Okay, so let's try again. We'll throw one of them in. And it doesn't have a solid colour for a long time, so there's a small chance. Let's put another couple in. It's kind of changing the colour a bit. Put a few of them in. It's kind of changing the colour a bit as well. Put a bit more of that in. Put a bit more of that in. Put a little bit of this in. Oh, just kind of putting everything in now, and a little bit of that in. And a little bit of that in. Oh, we ended up putting a stack of ender pearls in again. We put all this pulverized metal in. Yeah. And now I've put loads of materials in there. And it looks pretty solid, doesn't it? So let's take it. And I get a generate platform. Of all the things, it actually works, but I get a generate platform instead of an intralinking. Alright, well, I've been messing with it for a while, and I can't get any linking pages that I want. So I'm going to have to take these linking panels instead and use a chunk loader in another dimension. So I've just made myself the enchanting table, and now we're going to go and make a chunk loader, and we're going to load a section of an area. I don't know what area I want to do exactly, but I'm going to do something with a chunk loader and another world. I had to go and get some obsidian, which is why I've got me Rod of the Seas on me, because I just went and found a lava lake and just turned it into an obsidian lake. The last time I took a load of obsidian, I ground it all down, and I hadn't kept a single block for myself for things. Let's see. 4, is it? Chunk loader. Chunk loader. So this chunk loader that's in the pack is very expensive. 2 Tesseracts, a resonant energy cell, a resonant frame, and electrum gears and all this kind of stuff. Fairly expensive. I installed the chicken chunks chunk loader set in here. Very simple to install, very easy to add in, but it's kind of cheaty. It's kind of cheaty because it's so easy. But well, if the linking panels would have done what I wanted it to do, I wouldn't be having to do things like this now, would I? And a chunk loader. Okay, I need another load of ender pearls, and I can turn it into spot loaders. A chunk loader allows you to have a large area around it, whereas spot loaders just do a single chunk, which is good, so I can fine-tune where I'm putting things. And chunk loaders aren't exactly mystical, are they? Chunk loaders are what they're supposed to do, what they say on the tin and all that. So, I need to place a few more blocks down and figure out on a world that I want chunk loaded. And I've got a few places that I can think of that I may as well send these mobs to in the first place, and that may also help me in the future. Actually, does any of these them? So it's the Ender Cave, the Chicken Desert. That place, man, that place. Spent so long climbing these stairs this episode. Hope you're all very, very wound up about it. There we go. Mystcraft 8. No. Mystcraft 2. That was one of the first worlds I did. I've got a spare couple of linking books here behind me. Let's have a look at Mystcraft 8. What was this world all about? Acid rain or something? Oh, yeah. And this is where I've got the book in here. Yes. Acid rain, not the best things. Okay, so World 8 is not a good one to go to. In fact, I might just scrap that one altogether, really. Let's just throw it in with all the other rejects. What other rejects have we got here? We've got Void World. We've got Mystcraft 7, Hostile Wasteland, the Desert World, the Extreme Skylands. Maybe the Extreme Skylands, because that wasn't too bad. Maybe the Extreme Skylands would work. Let's have a look at that. Okay, it should just be a few gas and things, a few ghastly things. So, whoa, already, thank you. Whoa, 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 go away, get down there, out of the way, you. It's not going to do it, is he? Okay, well, we can do something in here instead, can't we? Alright, so I need to set it up so that the mobs spawn and disappear back into another portal. I don't really need the fall damage. That's not something that I'm after. I'm not after fall damage as such. But I do want them to kind of step up over here. That, yeah, that one. I'll take this. Okay, so I'll have them fall right here. So on this spot, facing this way, this is where this linking book shall be. Right? And then I take out the land from underneath them, as it were. And I'm going to put in a little portal that's going to send them over this direction. Okay, so actually we'll put that there. We'll leave that there. We'll have them so that there's a little portal in here for them to fall into. Okay, so the first book that I've just taken is going to go in here. Hopefully, yes. Overworld, that's the wrong ones. Why are you not working? Why are you not working? You're not working because I've got these here? Because it's too big a portal? What is the problem? Blocking things off. Let's try again. Okay, so now, yeah, there we go. Alright, so now this will go to the Skylands, right? This will go to Skylands, and that is the point of that. I may want to use just a chunk loader here as well, just to keep this chunk loaded. But I want to do something with this setup over here first. So before I start sending mobs over to the blood altar, because I can't sacrifice anything to the blood altar yet anyway, before I do that, I would like to send them into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another linking book in here, this one, and I'm going to get rid of these 2 books because they keep blinking into my inventory. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to let these mobs spawn right here. Okay, so this is in a kill chamber. So I know that they're just going to die and be sacrificed to that point, right? And then we're going to go back into this Skye realm. Geronimo! There we go. So I landed right here. Yeah, I spawned up there and I fell down 1 block into this. So now if I put this book receptacle and that there, that will now take me to the other place. And do I test it? No, it should be okay. Let's put this here and leave that so that I can get to it, but everything else is blocked off. That looks okay. All right, I put a little chunk loader here, which is just on the chunk border. Should keep that chunk loaded at all times. And now I'm back home. Okay, so now we're going to run all the way back out to the mob farm. Okay, so when I was out and about, I collected a Thormic Slime, a Tainted Crawler, and a Taint Swarm. Now, I don't particularly think the Taint Swarm's going to work in this particular setup, but I'm going to test it out anyway, because I want to do some experimenting with these mobs. Now, I've made this setup so that I can, whoa, fall down into here and back to here. Thank you. Now, I've just tested it to make sure it works, and it works perfectly fine. It's not exactly what I meant to do at all, really, but still. Yeah, can I get back up this way now? Yes, I can. Let's do it this way. Alright, so I'm going to be careful not to fall into this thing. I might need a thing there to stop me doing that, actually. But I need to be able to access this thing at the same time. So let's put this down here, and let's go down to here, and then place it up, and then access it. Thank you. Alright, so let's try the Thormic Slime first, because it's a slime farm. Okay, so it's idling, it's idling, it's idling. It spawned them, hopefully. Hopefully. Well, it spawned them, it did some work. Spawning. You can hear them going bloing, bloing, bloing. Bloing, bloing, bloing is a good sound to be hearing when you're trying to do this. So they're basically bloing, bloing, bloinging into here. Yeah. Bloing, bloing, bloing. And then they've been killed. So they're arriving. Thormic Slimes are arriving in here and gonna get killed by that. That's gonna get overfilled with stuff. But the theory is now proven sound. They are falling straight into there. Now, the reason I've got this set up like this exactly is when you look at it, it doesn't overlap in any way, shape or form. The spawner actually spawns them inside the walls. So if any mob is spawning, it's just going to drop. It may be able to catch hold of the side of the railing, which is why I'm going to build walls around it. But I just wanted that so that I could see what was going on fairly quickly to start off with. And eventually I'm going to have a backlog of the slimy stuff, which means that I'll have a backlog of taint coming in as well, which is good because then I can use that in Thorncraft. But for right now, it was just a case of getting things started, getting things set up and going. The other Tesseract is coming in here to put the blue slime there. And so this may be receiving the tainted goo. Yes, it is. Okay, it's receiving tainted goo. I think we have a success. I think we have success. So, thank you all very, very much for watching another episode of A Druid's Tale. I hope you enjoyed this little mob farm idea. It's very, very neat and compact, and I'm trying to make it so it looks aesthetically pleasing to my Druid's Tale in the nice little style that I've got here. I've got to still fill in the walls and all that kind of stuff, but there's other things that I need to set up as well first. Before I go enclosing it all and getting it all set up. There's a load of other books that I need to sort out. Now I've got these chunk loaders instead of intralinking, I should be able to manage. Leave down in the comments whether you think that the intralinking is broken. And if it is broken, do you think I should use the link modifier block to cheat the intralinking? Therefore, I don't need to actually have another chunk loaded in a different dimension. You can see how it's done. I really just want them to go through that portal there and end up in that slime pool, or go through that portal there and end up at the blood altar, or go through that portal there and go to some other place in this world that will kill them. I don't want them to spawn and get killed straight away, you see. I want them to appear in a single block space, which Mystcraft portals can send you to the exact single spot place, the spot that you landed on when you're initiated the book in the first place. So leave down below what you think, whether I should use some little tricks like using that modifier block, or whether the chunks need to be loaded in order to do things legit. Okay, well, thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of A Druid's Tale. Enjoy and have a great Christmas if you don't see me before.